time I get to follow Bill Strickland, I always apologize and tell you don't expect anything like his speech. It was a couple years ago when I made my first phone call to Bill. By the way, אני מדבר בעברית. Shalom. And don't expect anything else. That's about the extent of what I remember from Hebrew school. I had seen Bill Strickland speak about 5-6 years earlier, and he inspired me. He inspired me so much that when my company that I'd founded went public, I had some extra money. And I want to tell everyone here that the rest of my life and the rest of my wife's life is going to be dedicated to making the world a better place. And anyone who has that opportunity, I can tell them firsthand that the greatest thing in anyone's life who has been blessed to have this opportunity is to do that. You can buy a yacht, you can join a country club, at least in America. You can buy nice houses and nice cars, but I like to buy centers. I like to find ways to help people. And I, like Bill, don't sleep well at night, and that's why I called him. I don't sleep well at night in a city like Chicago where 22 people were shot in a weekend. And I called up Bill and I said, Bill, I don't know what to do, but I think you do. And I want you to come help me. Now it just so happens that he'd been working on Chicago at the time for 5 years. And want to talk about divine providence? He'd just given up on it the week before. And I was inspired to call him. And so he says, I've got this guy to run the center. His name is Saquon. Don't worry, I've got everything in place and we'll work together. And about 5 conversations in, he says, talking to these Jewish philanthropists in Miami about doing a center in Akko, Israel. And I about fell out of my chair. Because I was thinking, yeah, I'm already doing Chicago, I'm not going to do another city. But he said the one magic word to me that I couldn't say no to, and that was Akko. Good. I had never been to Akko in my life. I'd never been to Israel. It was my first visit to Akko in September of 2014. I was already in love with Akko. I want to tell everyone here from Akko, raise your hand if you're here from Akko. I am so proud to be a part of your city. I am so proud not just to be a visitor, but to have done my little part along with my lovely wife Jessica to help this city. I love Akko with all my heart. Akko is the sister city at my parents' synagogue. In Northwest Indiana. And so I have a couple connections to Akko. The big thing I want to tell you here today from my heart is that we're one humanity. As Mark said, there are people who try to tear us apart. Politicians, the media, try to tell us we're all different, that some of us are better than others, that some of us are different than others, that we might have a different religion, a different race. We might be richer, we might be poorer, women may not be equal to men. I stand against all of those things. The next time you want to use the word they, use the word anachnu. I knew that too. We. Say some of us, as in some of us are terrorists. Some of us hate other people. Some of us do bad things. But all of us are us. All of us. And here in Akko, this is a beautiful testament to the oneness of humanity. Akko itself is a beautiful testament to the oneness of humanity. When you walk the streets of Akko, as we did safely last night at midnight, and are able to have fresh squeezed juice, pomegranate juice, only in Akko, and know that people have your back and that people will smile at you, whether they're Muslim, whether they're Christian, whether they're Jewish. Aren't we all one? Do we have to separate ourselves? Can we live together, not just tolerate each other, but embrace each other as one human family? And Akko can be the center of that. This is the seed for humanity. ACAT is a part of that. And so we're planting a seed today. we're planting a seed that's going to grow into a beautiful tree. All of you were here to hear that. And I remember a couple years ago when Bill said, this is a little center that no one's heard of, but they're going to. And so today, the room is much more full than it was a couple years ago. And I want to tell you, I'm not going to spend a lot of time thanking people, because Mark's already done that. I want to tell you, to the young people of Akko, to the kids, I want to just dedicate my time here today to those kids and to say that that is what we're here for. We're here for the youth and the future of humanity. And in those times when some people tell us that it's okay to hate in the name of God or anyone else, I want all of us here in this room to stand up and say, no, we won't do that. Now, some of you might have heard of Martin Luther King. I'm looking at a man who was there in the front row when Martin Luther King gave a famous speech in Washington. And in the words of Mr. King, he says, you can't defeat hate with hate. You can only defeat hate with love. And so, spread the love, spread the unity, spread the oneness. All of you here today. Each of us can do what we can. I am lucky to have a very, very supportive wife. I'm lucky to have a very smart wife. And I'm lucky to have a very steadfast wife who never says a word about herself. And so I'm going to have to talk about her and say that she's the hardworking one out of the two of us. I talk, and I take the credit, and she does the work.